We need to get a hold of Eddie Money and see if he'll sing like the intro for us. I was thinking about this, like 2 Tickets to Paradise or something.
2 Tickets to Paradise.
Like that would be cool. So if Eddie Money listens to this little travel podcast.
Oh my gosh, I met Eddie Money once.
Yeah, but he didn't care about us. All he cared about was our friend Mike.
He really liked Mike.
He wouldn't keep his hands off of Mike, and I mean that in a friendly manner.
Yes.
Not in a predator manner. Welcome to Our Savings Starts Tomorrow, episode 7. And if this is the first one you're listening to, my name is Jon, and my wife right here is Jen.
Hello.
Who's double fisting wine tonight as we record this.
Why is that different from any other night?
I'm just painting the picture for everyone
judgy.
so they know what's
So
happening while we record. What kind of wine are we drinking, or you're drinking?
We are drinking a vintage 2018
it's a good year.
Ménage à Trois.
Yes. It's like a table wine.
Yes, red wine. It's just a steady Eddie staple here.
It's a go-to. It's easy to drink. It's always good.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
No, so thank you.
It pairs with everything.
Yeah, Ménage à Trois, giving us the energy to get through today's podcast. To cruise.
Or not to cruise.
A lot of people don't like cruises, but they've never been on cruises. It's so BS.
Cruises are great.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just going to start there.
There it is.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to know anything else. In fact, you could stop listening to the podcast a minute 30 into this.
Yeah, and just give us 5 stars.
Right, exactly. Right. No, I mean, I feel like there's all these like anti-cruise, like, oh no, it doesn't let me learn the culture, or I don't get to experience things.
Yeah, unless you have a phobia of large ships or a phobia of having fun.
Exactly. Yes.
Then you have no excuse.
And I wouldn't have thought you and I would be cruise people.
I know.
There's nothing about us that makes me think we're cruise people, but we've been on so many cruises.
I know. You know why? Because I thought that cruise people were trashy.
Yeah. There you go. Welcome, cruise people.
But you know what? I don't feel like we're trashy.
She says as one of her Ménage à Trois has a straw in it. But we've been on 4 very different cruises.
Yes.
And how many different cruise liners?
3 different cruise liners.
Okay.
Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Disney.
Yes.
And for the Disney, we will be talking about that actually on a different podcast.
The Disney gets its own episode.
It gets its own episode.
2 things we never thought we were: cruise people and Disney people.
Oh my gosh.
And it turns out we're both.
I hate us. I hate us so much.
So the first cruise we went on was like the perfect starter cruise for someone who's never been on one before.
Yes, and I recommend this if you are just nervous about going on a cruise or not sure if it's something that you would want to do. I would definitely start out with a cruise similar to the one that we did, which was a Royal Caribbean, and it was like
it was quick.
3-4 days, but it was left Long Beach. Mm-hmm. We went to Catalina,
which is like 20 miles away from Long Beach.
Yeah.
The boat, they don't even actually like start the engines. They just kind of push it off from the dock, and it floats its way to Catalina.
Yeah, we were in Catalina for a day. Then the next day we were in San Diego, and then we were in Ensenada.
Yeah,
and then back home.
We went with your whole family for this one. We were young. I don't even know if we were 21. I was drinking, but I don't know if we were 21.
Yeah, I don't know if we were 21 either.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great one. And I thought it was so fun with the whole family because we all got to have dinner together. Mm-hmm. Like you have your set dinner time. So everyone got to sit and have dinner together. And then during the day, we kind of all went off and did our own little excursions or whatever.
We all went on excursions, and your mom sat there and played in the casino.
Yeah, she did.
That's like the whole I don't think she saw daylight for the 4 days we were on the cruise.
She had a good time.
She had
that's
a
all
blast.
that matters.
Yeah, we funded that cruise.
We also stayed on an interior room.
Okay, so here's tip number 1. Don't do it.
Don't stay in an interior room.
Pay the extra money, no matter what it is.
I just felt like you don't know which way is up, down, if it is day, night. You have no idea what is happening.
It's like being put in the hole in San Quentin. Like you don't know what's happening. You and I slept until noon one day.
Which never happens.
No, we were just so confused and out of
because it's so dark.
Find some kind of window. I'm not saying you need the suite, but I'm saying you need some kind of daylight in your room. It's going to make the cruise different.
Yes.
Yeah. But I thought Royal Caribbean was a really nice cruise.
Yes, they are a nicer cruise liner. And like I said, it was a great, just starter.
Yeah. Our second cruise was Carnival.
It's more of a budget
Uh-huh.
type cruise line.
I feel like it's more of a party cruise line, too.
Yeah.
Kind of a younger party. A lot of fist pumping.
Yeah. And they don't keep them as nice.
Uh-huh.
I feel like,
The paint was kind of... Yeah. The carpet was...
Yeah. But we got... they did offer us, remember, an upgrade.
Yeah, I got like a random call from them.
To upgrade. And it was like $10 or $20 a day more or something.
And cause originally we had just booked like a normal room with a window.
Yes.
Porthole. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I got a call a couple days before the cruise and they were like, hey, for an extra... I think it was $50 total.
Yeah.
We're going to give you this balcony suite.
And it was
ridiculous.
So nice.
It was so nice.
It was so nice. We literally had just like a corner of the back of the boat.
With a sliding glass door.
Yes.
That you could walk out and like be out on this balcony over the ocean.
Yes.
And if you have like a day at sea or at night when the moon's out, you could be out there.
No, don't go out at night.
And Jen and I had one of the biggest fights of our marriage. Because we're out at night. We're not by any land. The cruise is going from the one destination to the other. And I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be romantic for us to go out on the balcony together? Mm-hmm. We can have some wine. We can stare at the stars. It's like pitch black, so you could really see the stars. Mm-hmm. And you would not go out on the balcony with me.
No. How do I know that you don't have some sort of screw loose and you throw me over the side?
My plan is 10 years of marriage. All to book a Carnival cruise.
Yes.
And then throw you over the side.
Yes. I do have a phobia of that.
Yeah. So you would not go out on the balcony.
At nighttime.
At night at all. With or without
During
me
the day, yes.
When we were like at port and other people could hear you scream.
Exactly.
That's the only time.
Right. Well, at 10 o'clock at night, people are inside the boat. They're having fun. They're at dinner. They're doing all these things. They're not going to hear me.
I'm still bitter.
And I still will not go on a balcony with you on a cruise ship at night.
We did this one from Miami.
Yeah, and
right?
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't been to Miami before. So we spent like a little bit of time in Miami before boarding and a little bit of time in Miami on the way out.
And then went to Turks and Caicos. It was fine. I don't know what I was expecting with Turks and Caicos, but
it's just a
nice.
beautiful island.
Yeah, we got really sunburnt that day.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of ruined it because it was overcast.
Yep.
And it ruined almost the rest of the trip. I mean, we were just lobster.
Yes.
We went to Nassau.
Yeah.
Nassau.
Yeah, so tip number 2 would be make sure you lather on the sunscreen on day 1 to not ruin day 2 and 3.
In the Bahamas, though, in Nassau, we spent the day at the Atlantis Resort, which as a kid was one of those places like I've always wanted to go to. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks like a castle, right? Like the Atlantis castle, and I've always heard that like they have a really cool water park there, and then you can swim with the dolphins. We did the dolphin swimming.
We did. We just went all out.
Yeah.
We were like, go big. Mm-hmm. So we did the whole dolphin experience, and that was actually very cool.
We got to be pushed by a dolphin by our feet and like ride a boogie board at the same time. Uh-huh. You got to kiss a dolphin.
You kissed a dolphin?
Yeah, I did.
We all kissed the dolphins.
Yeah. We all kissed the same dolphin too. That poor dolphin got around. There's a casino there that I hear is really good. We weren't gambling on this trip at all. We didn't spend any money on that, but
no.
But Atlantis Resort, I guess, has like a really nice casino that you can lose your money at too.
Yes.
And then we went to,
then they also have the rum cake place that I like.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Nassau.
Uh-huh.
The Tortuga place. So every time we've gone to Nassau, I always like search for the Tortuga.
It's a very specific shop.
And you can buy rum there, and then you buy some rum cakes there.
So
and they have
good.
like 6 different kinds of them. Those are like really great gifts to give to anyone.
And you get a free shot of rum while you're in there.
Worth it.
So it's, yeah.
But the rest of Nassau,
yeah. Stay in the tourist area or with your tour. And I mean, we got like
Atlantis, which is beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. If you stay on the property, you'll be fine. And then we went to the private island. I think it was Half Moon Key.
Is that what?
I'm pretty sure that's where we were. Yeah. And we rode bikes for the day, which always sounds fun, but it's so sticky and hot.
Yeah, I know.
Just
but you can only do so much laying around and drinking and
we
eating.
did a lot of that.
Yes.
And then the third cruise we did was a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Yep, back to Royal Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And we had a porthole. We actually had 2 really big portholes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
there's a
were
lot of
like right below the balconies.
We almost could afford the balcony level, but we couldn't for this one. This was a big cruise because it started in New York.
Yeah.
And it was like a day at sea out to Bermuda and then a day at sea back.
Yes.
So it was a lot of day at seas, but we liked that idea so we could just kind of lay out.
Yeah.
And plus we wanted to see what Bermuda was all about.
Right.
It's one of those things you've heard of.
Bermuda.
And we even scheduled like this Bermuda Triangle snorkeling expedition, which I was
Would have been
so excited about because who didn't grow up hearing about the Bermuda Triangle? Yeah.
Right.
But we never got to do it.
No.
Because we went cheap. And you can get a cruise for cheap if you do it during the hurricane season.
Yep. And we got stuck in a hurricane.
Yeah, we went to New York. And New York was like on lockdown already. Like they had signs up saying there was a storm coming.
Yes.
Get ready. We were watching the news and they were expecting. And we thought to ourselves, what perfect timing. We're going to be able to escape the storm.
Yes.
On the ship.
We're dumb.
And so we get on the ship and we're like, peace out, New York. And I don't know, 8 p.m. that night, the captain comes on. And he was saying that we were going to go around.
Yeah, we were going to go like a longer way around to Bermuda to try to avoid the storm.
Yeah, and he's like, don't worry, going to be fine.
Yes, I trusted him.
Yeah, he had an accent. He seemed like he knew what he was doing.
Totally.
He came right on the TV to talk to us about this hurricane.
Yes.
Turns out, fun fact, tip number 3, hurricanes move.
Yes.
And the hurricane moved while we were out in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
And we ended up being stuck in a hurricane. And it is the most surreal experience.
You're on such an enormous ship.
Yeah. Actually, this ship that we were on was at the time was the largest cruise ship in the world.
Really? So
Yeah.
we're on this enormous ship, and to feel like we were being tossed around in the ocean was crazy. In fact, it started kind of like late that night, and then we woke up that morning. I think we ended up still going and having breakfast.
At the time, everything was still open. We had breakfast. We went out to the solarium.
Yep, and we're just kind of like we're laying out. It was like overcast, but we were just kind of like laying there, hanging out, and I started not feeling great.
The ship was just going up and down and up and
Which
down.
is not typical of
No.
a cruise ship because it's
like a
so
hotel.
big, you don't really feel the movement of the ocean, but the waves were just crashing.
And the way this solarium was for this one, it was like this big glass. You're almost in a greenhouse, right? And the waves started going up over the top. And that's when they came on the speaker and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and close everything down.
Yeah, why don't you go into your room and hang out for a little bit?
So we got locked in our rooms.
Yes.
And they closed everything.
Yes.
Except for the bar that's like in the middle of the ship.
Yes.
And there was like one to-go restaurant, and that was it. And you continued to get just more and more sick.
I mean, I never got I never like threw up or anything, but I just did not want to get up.
You couldn't. You were just like,
I'm like, I just want to lay down.
And they gave everyone free movies.
Yes.
To keep you in your room.
Yes.
And I was feeling fine.
I know, which I hate.
And I was bored. So I started roaming the ship during this hurricane. And I know you're thinking, oh, it was just a little rough water. No, the porthole where we were, you could, and in fact, we're going to post the video up on our Instagram, which is Our Savings Starts Tomorrow. You can't see anything but water. We're like a submarine.
Yes. It kind of
It's the
at
perfect
first
storm.
I was okay, and then it got to the point where I was nervous.
I'm walking through because I'm just roaming the ship.
Right.
And water is coming through the side of the doors, which would lead you out to like the track and leaking in every time a wave hits us. And the way they have the weight of the ship, it's actually leaning one side heavily. So you're not walking straight. You're actually like walking at an angle down these hallways, and the lights are flickering like you're on the Titanic.
Creepy.
And I got to the one bar because side note, we decided on this trip to, there's like a band you can buy on Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
That will give you like all you can drink booze.
And you can buy like different packages. So we bought like a premium, like all
Top
you
shelf.
can drink package.
And because of the hurricane, we hadn't been drinking. And I'm like, no, we spent a lot of money on this stupid wristband. And I get to the bar.
You're gonna get your money's worth.
Yeah. I get one drink and a wave hits the side of the ship and everything on the bar just falls off.
Yeah.
And breaks. And the bartender goes, all right, we're closing down. And we all had to go back to our rooms.
Like when the employees of the ship are like,
They were scared.
Then, I mean, that's when I start getting scared.
There was a spot in the middle of the ship where people who were too afraid to be in their room. I'm sure, like, if we were down in the interior,
Freaky.
there's no way I would have been with these people. So they were all just laying together like a huddle mass in the middle. But I went back to the room and just watched you lay there.
Yes, I know.
And when we finally got to Bermuda, you were just so nauseous from the night before we canceled our snorkeling.
The thought of like getting off of one boat that would not stop moving and getting onto a smaller boat that obviously was going to be moving. I was like, I can't do it.
Bermuda itself, we were there for 2 days. It was cool.
It was cool.
There was that, is it a pink?
Yep. The pink sand beach. And I feel like, I mean, we spent most of our time on that beach because it's like the most picturesque.
They have like a
area.
fort there that you could tour. And then you can
there was like a shell beach that we went to.
So, I mean, Bermuda itself was worth it. I'd like to go back if we felt better.
Yes.
And try it again. Would you do a cruise during hurricane season? Would you roll the dice?
Oh, gosh.
We were on the news, by the way.
I know.
Not us personally, but our cruise was on the news.
You know what? I probably would.
I would. I'd roll the dice.
I would have, I do get seasick, typically not on large ships, but hindsight, if I was going to do another one, I would get that patch that you put behind your ear, because thankfully when we were in Bermuda, I found a pharmacy and I was able to get that patch, and that I think also just helped me.
Had we been in the hurricane and you weren't sick, we would have had the time of our life.
Oh yeah, we would have had a great time.
Yes. It would have been another whole story.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
I mean, it was still a vacation.
Things we love about cruises versus things that we don't like about cruises.
Okay.
What do you got?
I love the idea of being able to like get a taste of all these different places that maybe you can go and visit at a later time.
Little appetizers.
Yes. Like we got to explore a little bit of New York. We got to explore a little bit of Bermuda, a little bit of Miami.
You and I have talked a lot about going back to Nassau and just staying at the Atlantis Resort.
Exactly.
After being there and seeing their water park.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I'd like to do one in Europe like that.
That would be cool.
They really can be budget friendly. If you're on a budget, meals are included.
Right.
Sodas are included. There's free ice cream, like on the Disney cruise.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about at
We're
another
not talking about that one now.
And there's always fun stuff to do for free on the ship.
Yeah, there's always little like folding of towels and, like drink mixing classes. And I mean, certain things do cost money, but there's a ton of activities to do.
When you're on a cruise ship, every day after they make your room, they do the towels and different towel art.
I love it so much.
And you're like,
I'm obsessed with it.
I'm shocked you haven't taken a towel art class the way.
I know. And I think they even have like a book.
Yeah, that you could buy.
I mean, I would never fold our towels like that.
Never.
I should do that sometime for our guests.
Also, the vacations are pre-planned, which is good because we don't like to plan.
We're just not good planners.
And this is a way to kind of make sure there's a schedule without you doing anything.
Yeah. It's like, all right, great. I'm just going to get on this boat and then they're going to take me to like 4 different islands and you can either get off and do something or not.
And there's entertainment nightly. Like there's games, there's activities, there's comedians, there's musicals. The musicals on the Disney cruise are absolutely incredible. I know we're not talking about the Disney cruise right now.
Right. But like there is some top-notch comedians because some comedians actually that have done the circuit.
Yeah. And they're like big time. You see them in New York or LA and they fly out here because they get a free cruise and they get paid really well to do these. Yeah. What don't you like about cruises?
Getting seasick in bad weather, so you need to plan ahead of time. If you are sensitive, I mean, you can go to your doctor and get a prescription for that patch that goes behind your ear, and that really helps. Changes so even if you're just like a little nervous about it, just get it and you'll be fine.
You can always have bad weather. Just be aware. You're out in the middle of the ocean.
I mean, and the thing is that even on the cruise ship where we got stuck in the hurricane, all these people were like demanding their money back. They were so upset. They were screaming at the people. And I'm like, they can't control the weather.
When we went during hurricane season.
What do you expect?
I did think a few times, though, about the Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, God.
And I thought about, what's the one with George Clooney where they go fishing?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect Storm. Like those two movies like played in my head the entire time. I'm like, oh, there's going to be a wave that hits us from the side and I'm going to have to crawl my way out.
No.
Yeah.
You're scaring people. We like cruises.
The drinks are expensive. So if you can buy like the wristband, do that.
Yeah. If they have a drink package and
Yeah.
you do partake in drinks, I would recommend doing the drink package.
Do you think the food's great?
The food is okay.
Mm-hmm.
The food is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like breakfast and lunch, I feel like is always the same thing. It's
Yeah.
always I mean, I don't know about like how much buffet stuff they'll be doing right now, but
Yeah, but dinners are good.
dinners are pretty good.
And the ones you can pay for.
And the ones you can
those
pay
are really
for
good.
are really good.
And your biggest gripe? Go ahead, tell everyone.
You can't bring your steamer on.
How dare they? Who do they think they
They
are?
confiscated it last time.
They took it from you. You couldn't get it till the end of the cruise.
I was very angry. And then they put a sticker on top of it. So like I have like the sticker residue on it. Anyways, I travel with my steamer everywhere because no one likes to be wrinkled.
I know. It's embarrassing.
It is
On
embarrassing.
Vacation for the photos.
Right?
Yeah. So that is our list for the cruise of what's not to do. Hey, we've had so many people start listening to the show. We're actually ranked now.
Woo!
On Apple Podcasts, like right around
Who
the
would've
top
thought?
50 on travel. I know. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
If you haven't gone on to Apple, if that's where you listen to this, and given us a 5-star review, please do so.
Do it.
Yeah. And leave us a little rating. Like Jeff0319 says, this podcast has become my new favorite. I look forward to where they're going to take me each week. These two have such amazing chemistry combined with their loving demeanor is just magic. They're so down to earth and relatable. Listening to their take on Cabo makes me wish my husband and I hadn't already tied the knot. So I love that. So there's so many sweet
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And if you are on Instagram and you want to see like the hurricane
Oh, yeah.
or anything else, our Instagram again is Our Savings. Starts tomorrow. And if you're Eddie Money and you happen to be listening to this show,
Yes. 2 tickets to paradise.
we want your theme song.